synagogue, so they know how to get in, so.
Oh, okay. Both of them didn't work?
Yeah.
All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. We are live on this beautiful Friday night. And there's something I wanted to say. I can't remember. Anyway. That's what I wanted to say. It is the month of Elul, and Psalm 27 is part of Elul. So the Psalm for Elul is there. You've noticed it's not there before, and if it's there now, you should take one. It's the Psalm that we say at the end of services during the month of Elul, all the way through Hoshana Rabbah. So you'll get acquainted with it. All right, well, Melanie, come up, page 2. As we begin Kabbalat Shabbat, the lighting of the candles in Hebrew, not Hebrew, in Yiddish, it's bench licht. Bench licht.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'haidlik niyam shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. We'll turn to page 6. Page 6, we'll read responsibly. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all here to express hopes and nurture.
May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May special be a silent walk beyond strength.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be for all who enter no way to richer.
Page 20 will continue with Lecha Dodi, brought to us from the mystical city of Sfax. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem lo tiferet v'li tila, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'bracha, megrosh mikedem nehesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila, mikdash melech yimelucha, kumitzi mitoch ha'pecha, rav lahak shevet b'yemecha b'cha, v'hu yachamol alaychem la, lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabila, itnahari me'afar kumi, lishi bigdei tifarte hechami, al yad b'nishai beit alachmi, korva el nafshi gehala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabila. Hitorari, ki ba'orek kumihi ori, ori, shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabila, lo tevoshi, v'lo tikolmi, Mahatish tochachi matehemi, Bachyechesu, Aniyehe Ami, B'nihiv neta ir al tila, Lecha dodi likra kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, V'hayu l'shimsa shohosaich, V'rahacha kuhu mevalayich, Yasis alayich Elohayich, Ki sos hatan al kala, Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, V'et Adonai taharitzi, Al Yahish ben partzi, V'nihi smecha v'nagila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'sola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Page 22, Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. Let's read the outdented paragraph together in English. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with the 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Tzadik hamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shetulim b'veit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. O Jehu b'seiva d'shenim v'ra'ananim yihiyu le'hayid ki ashar Adonai tzuri ve'lo latavo. Page 24, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Please rise, page 146, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated, page 147. Let's read together. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 148. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shochbeinu uvkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Li'olam moed Ki heim chayenu v'yorech yameinu v'yorech yameinu Uvehem nege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla V'ahavat techal tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol lavavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha V'hayu advarim ha'ele Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha b'derech Uv'shoktecha uv'kumecha U'kshartam le'ot al yadecha V'hayu latotafot b'neinecha U'chtaftam al mezuzot beitecha Uv'hisharecha Leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, let's read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes was the vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Mi chamocha vaylim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, dohra tehilot, ohu sefer malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe, seili anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch leolam v'ed. V'ne'amar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov u'ga'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai ga'al Yisrael. Top of page 153. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Ve'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Ve'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Page 153, let's read together. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. Your true protection and safety. In your presence, we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 155, please rise. We begin the Amidah together. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'igor, Ha'norah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekonei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Imahot, U'mevii Goel Itnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Yolam Adonai, Mechayin eti matara v'hoshia, Morid hatahal, Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayin eti b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofech holim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato Vishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidom mehelah, Melech Emid umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot netim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'metim. continue in the middle, page 160. And let's read the middle paragraph together in English. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Top of page 163, let's read responsively. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world, our hearts and our hands we offer praise.
The desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature and harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all grace is source of being.
Top of 164, Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol ha-shalom. Shalom Rahav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. B'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Praise to you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, mevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We'll jump ahead to page 253, one of our many prayers for healing. This one is Misha Berach. Misha Berach, Avoteinu, Mikor habracha la'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Prayers of our community, page 258, prayer for our congregation. Mr. President.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion and prayer in support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be for service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levacha b'yira na'avod. Mark.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Avayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and those who love you prosper. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael, V'golo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu. Hagen Aleha B'Yefrat Chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'Amitecha L'Rasheha, Sareha V'Yoetzeha, V'Taknem Be'etza Tova Ufanecha, V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'Simchat Olam Yoshveha, V'Nemar, Amen. And let's read together. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Hi, friends. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. This week's Torah portion is Shoftim, and we are commanded to appoint judges and or legal officials to carry out justice in whatever society we find ourselves in. There's to be no partiality, whether the person who stands before you is rich or poor, a macher in the synagogue, or the guy who sweeps up after a parade. Everybody is to get the same shot at justice. And we're not to take any bribes. We get a very, very famous line, Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, often translated as justice, justice you shall pursue. But I prefer a slightly different translation, pursue justice justly, meaning pursue justice but with just means. We can talk about the death penalty this week. You need two witnesses. One witness is simply not enough. And if somebody comes up and gives false testimony, whether it's in a capital case or a case of thievery or anything, the false witness gets punished with the same punishment that the guilty person would have been punished with. For homicides, civil laws that are too or civil laws that are too complex, the cases get bumped to a higher court, which will be made up of priests or judges. When the people get into the land, they're forbidden to set up places for idols. Right? This is a constant worry in not only the Torah, but later on in the rest of the Nach, that we are going to lose our way, that we will start putting other things before our service to God, and that will get us into trouble. We're not to offer defective sacrifices, and we're not to worship the sun or the moon. When we enter the land, the book of Deuteronomy says we may choose a monarchy. Right? There's some suggestion that the book of Deuteronomy was written well after we had settled the land, so it's less a prophecy and more of this is what ultimately is going to happen. No foreigner, no non-Israelite is ever allowed to be king, and he's not to have too many horses or wives, not to have too much stuff, because the king, after all, is to look after the people, and if his mind is too busy on counting his wealth or his horses or his wives, he might not be able to take care of the people. Once again, we're told that the Levites will not inherit any land, and so we, the Israelites, will have to take care of them. We're warned against forbidden religious practices. We're to stay away from soothsayers, diviners, sorcerers, people who claim to communicate with the dead. And if we come across any of those people, we are to banish them. We are to beware of false prophets. And sanctuary cities are once again spoken of. They are set up for people who commit manslaughter. They take a life, but it's accidentally. Priests are encouraged. Priests are to encourage people in times of war, reminding them that God is with us. And you are exempt from going to war if you have planted a vineyard, but have not yet harvested it, built a home, but not yet dedicated it, you're engaged, but not yet married, or you're afraid and anxious. All of these, I think that Torah puts in there, if you're going to be out there fighting, you don't want to have your mind on other things. You have to be able to focus. And so if you've planted a vineyard and the harvest hasn't come, you'd be worried about the harvest. The same with dedicating your house. If you're not yet married, you don't want single guys who are not married out on the battlefield because they're going to be thinking, why am I here? Should be at home. And if you're just plain afraid. When we go to war, we're to offer peace first, and we're not allowed to destroy the fruit trees. It's a very interesting line in the Parsha where it says that the trees are not human beings, that they can run away. So if you're going to cut down the trees, fruit trees, you're not allowed to. But if it's not a fruit-bearing tree, you can cut it down to use it for building ways of protecting yourself. And the Parsha closes with a very weird ceremony. There's a dead body found in a field. And nobody knows how it got there. Nobody knows who put it there or if there was foul play, although foul play is obviously suggested. They call the people, the leaders from the closest city. They lay their hands on a heifer and they then sacrifice it. They say they did not see who did the deed, and the city's guilt, the closest city's guilt, is absolved, and they will bury the body and give it a proper burial. This week, again, we have a bunch of mitzvot, 41, 14 positive, and 27 negative, for a grand total of 41. And that is a Torah portion in a nutshell. So some of my students who are studying Judaism have been asking about what we do during the period of Elul and the days leading up to the high holidays. And one of them asked, in terms of apologies, is there a proper way to apologize? And is it the same all year, or is it just for the high holidays? Which is a pretty good question. Yeah? And this is one of the most profound human interactions. We don't think a lot of it. People don't like to offer apologies because fear of looking small, losing face, shame. They just don't think they did anything wrong, and therefore they don't have to apologize. A bunch of reasons, but it is one of the most profound human interactions. It has a profound opportunity to heal. If you offer an apology or accept an apology, it has an amazing power to heal. All sorts of humiliations, all sorts of grudges, and it removes the desire for vengeance. I think that if somebody is sincere in an apology, it takes away, or it really lessens the idea that I want to get back at these people. And it tends to generate forgiveness. Maybe not right away, but it becomes there. And it's an encounter between two people. It doesn't have to be in front of a group. It doesn't have to be out in public. It can be just the two people, the offender who accepts responsibility and feels remorse, and the offended who is willing to listen to what the offender has to say. Basically, what the offender has to say is, I was wrong, I'm sorry, and it's not your fault. Apologies often fail. And it's not they fail because the person doesn't want to hear it or the person is not quite ready to hear it. They often fail because the apologies tend not to be not legitimate, genuine. They tend not to be genuine. There are different kinds of apologies that get offered. They're vague. Sorry for whatever I did. Sorry for whatever I may have done. If I've offended you, if I hurt you, well, that puts the onus on the person, the offended or the hurt person, and not the person who's making the apology. So somebody comes up to you and says, well, if I did anything this year to hurt you, I'm sorry. That's not a real apology. Passive apologies, right? Mistakes may have occurred. Mistakes may have happened. Conditional? If mistakes have been made, then I apologize. Right? We hear politicians doing these kinds of apologies all the time. The question of damage, questionable damage. Well, if anyone was hurt, I offer my apologies. If anyone was offended, they minimize the apology. There's really nothing to apologize for, but I'll do it anyway. Or there's enough blame to go around, I don't feel that I have to apologize. And then there's the empathy. I'm sorry you were hurt, it was not my intention. Right? None of those apologies hold water because they don't get to the heart of what happened. Mistakes were made. Well, yeah, that's why somebody's hurt. So you need to say what exactly the mistake was. Social media and Facebook apologies do not cut it. You have to face the music. You have to face the person. Right? You got to be specific, you got to be honest, and you got to be willing to listen to what the person has to say. You might not agree with it, but you have to listen. Elul, Rosh Hashanah, the 10 days, and Yom Kippur are all days of atonement, days in which we can repair relationships. And if you take a look at the word atonement, you can break it down into at one meant. Right? Atonement is when you try to get to be one with those you have hurt. You try to repair whatever damages have whatever happened. And ultimately, I think the whole thing about apologies is that we need to be aware of how we make others feel, and conversely, how they make us feel. You want to be a better person, right? I think that's the whole point of the idea of what an apology is. As my pops used to say about apologies, it's how adults behave. Children don't apologize. They don't understand. But when you get to a certain age, that's how adults behave. And so I always thought, if you want to have the last word in an argument, you want to have the last word with somebody, apologize. And then there's nothing left to say. Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos. Mari.
Kadoosh.
Kadoosh. Kadoosh. Well, that's for Shacharit. Vayeh vayikroker yom hashishi vayachulu hashamayim v'chol haaretz v'chol tzivam vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi vayikadesh oto Ki lo shavat mikol malakto asher bara Elohim la'asod. Savri. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat Chodesh, B'Ahava Ratzon, Inchinlanu, Zikaron D'Maaseh B'Reishit, Kihu Yom Tefillah, Lamikra Kodesh, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'acharta, Yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, V'shabbat kodshecha, Yahava uvratzon, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. All right, we'll start closing out on page 282, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'atei kedula liotzer reishit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo hosamanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol ha'onam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים הודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומשה בקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efesu Lato, Adatu B'Torato, Yadata Hayom V'Hashemota, Ele Balecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, V'Shamayim B'Mal, V'al haaretz, v'hi tachat eino. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed. V'nehar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Let's read responsively Psalm 27. Psalm 27 of David. Adonai is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. Whom should I dread?
Leading words to their enemy to devour my flesh. My foes and enemies threaten, they trip and they fall.
Though enemies besiege me, my heart shall not fear. Should war beset me, still do I trust.
One thing
One
my
thing
answer
I ask
is
Adonai is this I seek,
well,
dwell in the house of all the days of my life.
God hides me in God's shelter on the day of evil, conceals me in the recesses of God's tent. Oh, on a rock, God raises me up.
and now my head rises over my enemies. Around me the
Hear, O Lord, my voice when I call, and grant me peace and answer me.
You, my heart says, seek my face.
Your face, O Lord,
I do seek.
Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in wrath. You are my help. Abandon me not, nor forsake me, O God of my rescue. Teach me, O Lord, your way, and lead me on a level path because of my adversaries.
do not subject me to the will of my foes.
increase their lives.
Had I not the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Hope for the Lord, let your heart be firm and bold, and hold before the Lord.
Lulehem anti l'ro b'tuv Adonai be'eretz chaim, kaveh el Adonai, chazak b'yamei tzlipecha, v'kaveh el Adonai. This week we observed the following yard sites: Ann Island, sister-in-law of Ed; Sylvia Finn Gerstein, Ron Poland's aunt; Pauline Kaplan, Helen's mother; Reba Slotkin, daughter of Louis and Lillian Gaffin; Jack Gellan, Ed's father; Mildred Tobolowski, grandmother of Jason Solov; Charlotte Blackman Fish, Pauline's cousin, Francis's mother; Susan Margot Bro, Henry and Betsy's daughter; Harold Kagan, Frida's husband; Albert Schlossberg, related to the Macinters; Rose Kaplan Teplis, Saul's sister; Beatrice Bear Weil; Evelyn Weil, wife of Marty; Arnold Gottfried, Nan Tesser's father; David Freeman, Bruce and Robbie's father; Isaac Hassel, relative of Pauline; Aaron Herbert; Lake Poland Jr., Lake's father; Charles S. Bro, Tony's father, married to Shirley; Jenny Cohen, maternal grandmother of David and Billy Glick; Louis Gaffin, Pauline's aunt's brother-in-law; Isaac Hemmelstein, Dennis Hammel's grandfather; Bernie Hyman, Jack Hyman's cousin, son of Jacob and Ann; Victoria Lee Messenger, Judy Lance's granddaughter; Ann Pittich, Carol Katz's mother. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us all. May they always rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Ne Rabbah, Ba'alma Divrach Pirutei, V'yamlik Malchutei, V'chaye Chon, V'yomei V'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael, V'adalah B'zman Kari V'yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah V'varach V'olam Olamei Amaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Kusha B'richu. Ne'elam Yinkol B'yirchata B'shirata. V'tushbachata B'nechamata. V'amiram V'alma V'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chayim Lo'enu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Oseh Shalom Imromav. U'yaseh Shalom. Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. May be seated. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. We have some September anniversaries. That's Dr. and Mrs. James Egel, and Sydney Poland and Richard McLaughlin. They celebrate anniversaries later in the month. And the birthdays are Mark Miller, Dr. Nicholas Philippe J. Frieden, also known as Nick, Fred Silverstein, Kevin Levine, and the Woodruffs, Ed Woodruff and Judy Woodruff. Ed is born on the 24th and Judy on the 28th. So we wish everybody a happy birthday and a happy anniversary. And September is here. Means school is in session, means football is starting, and high holidays are around the corner. So happy birthday and happy anniversary to all. Mr. President, back from your whirlwind trip up to Manhattan, the civilized part of the world. Yes, some announcements?
Up here, I'll be quick.
Take your time.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The rabbi told you, we dropped Lydia off at Marymount College in New York City, and I think she's settling in, and hopefully we'll pray and hope she has a blessed year up there with no protests from the malcontents. All right, so tomorrow we have service at 10 o'clock a.m., and then Sunday we've got service at 9 a.m., study with the rabbi at 1.
One is our Hebrew, and then on the next 3 Sundays, we're going to have Let My People Know High Holiday Edition. And this week it's about Tshuva. Next week it's about readings to help inspire us through the high holiday period. And then the third week, it's a surprise.
All right, okay. We've got a board meeting, our monthly meeting at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm pleased to report that we have a replacement for Martha. Her name's Pam. If you're around during the day, come in, stop by, introduce yourself, say hello. She's a very nice person. I've met her, and again, thanks to our recruitment committee who helped hire her, to the board for approving it in a vote a couple weeks ago. And I'm sorry I missed Max's bar mitzvah. I'm legitimately sorry about
It was a
that.
whiz banger. It was great.
I heard it was great, and I'm sorry, and I will tell him that too.
Okay, I mean,
Well, I listened.
great.
Shabbat shalom, folks. Okay. Hi to Seth out there.
Seth is out there.
He watches.
Seth!
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth. All right. Let us close out this evening service. Page 321, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa B'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, V'yacharei Kiklo Takol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara, V'hu Echad B'ein Sheni, L'hamshir Lo L'achbira, V'li Reishi V'li Tachli, V'lo Haos V'hamisra, V'hu Eli V'chai Goali, V'tzur Hevli B'yetzara, V'hu Nisi Umanosli, V'nakosi B'omekra, B'yado Akid Ruchi, V'yetishan V'yahira, V'im Ruchi G'viyati, Adonai li V'lo Ira. Oh, we have some people saying hello via the intertubes. Yes, yeah, looks like Mom and Cliff are on there. Is Mom? Shabbat Shalom to all from Rabbi's Mom and Cliff from a nice warm day in Pennsylvania. Heather Watts says Shabbat Shalom. Donna Wilson, Shabbat Shalom to all who are there as well as everyone who is not there. Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you all. All right, friends, lots going on this week. Services, classes, meetings. So please, please join us for as much as you want. We're here and enjoy this beautiful weekend. Promises to be really, really nice for the rest of the weekend. I want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, and please be careful out there.